Hello, my friend, and welcome. This is your moment. I'm Katarina Miletic, and you are listening to the podcast that will challenge you to think with your soul and believe that your only power is inside you.
Katrina, how are you?
Hello, John. I'm great, thank you. And
Oh,
you?
that's awesome. Yeah, fantastically well, thank you.
What is your story? When did John start realizing that he has a mission in life and passion?
When did I start to realize? That's a big question. And for me, yeah, it's hard to ascertain like a pinpoint moment where I just I just knew. I think it was something that I grew into. And it was, yeah, Bali was played a huge part in that. And I think one of the turning points was born out of adversity. And so I found myself in a situation where I had like a landscaping company, and I was no longer fulfilled. And so I was going to work every day and just felt dead inside. And I was looking for something else, seeking something else. And I found like a mentor, I guess, of sorts in a roundabout way. I went to this event, flew to Adelaide and met this man, signed up to his program. And I became a life coach. It's a big story, but the main point of focus was Bali. And so I had a coaching practice at the time, but I was also trying out for different international training companies around the world. And I would just fall short. And then opportunity opened up for a US company that was based in Bali, in Ubud, Bali. And so I got the opportunity to move over there, was running NLP, neurolinguistic programming in Singapore. And it was a fantastic experience. And then that contract finished, and I hired a mentor, and she helped me move my coaching practice online. And that was a game changer for me. So that's how I got into book publishing and what I'm doing now. And it's bizarre because I had like such a journey, while I was trying out for these different training companies. I had my coaching practice. I was trying to write a book. I had one manuscript. I actually spoke the first book, and I had that one. The manuscript was finished in the dictaphone, and my pickup truck was broken into, and they stole everything. And then I typed out another manuscript, and my computer crashed. So I just thought, I'm not meant to write this book. And I think there was a lot of fear surrounding that because I didn't learn how to read and write at a basic level till I was 9 years of age. I felt like I was separate. I didn't even know what creativity was. I was separate from the creativity. Right. My reality was telling me that. And so I felt so lost and disconnected to my surroundings. And I felt like I didn't have freedom to express who I was. And I wanted to so bad, but I've been labeled with all these different labels. Yeah. I won't go into those but I want to focus more on, following that inspiration from within that was bubbling up and learning how to trust that creativity and connect into that creativity. And that was a journey within itself, and it took courage. I had to step outside of my comfort zone. I'd written this story called Sausage Man from Outer Space. I was 9 years of age, and I took it to my favorite teacher. She was my second grade teacher, but I was in year 3. I was going nowhere fast because the teacher wasn't interested in really teaching. Right. So yeah, she helped me get tutoring and things like that. And so, but this book idea wouldn't go away. So, I hired the mentor. She helped me move my coaching practice online. And she said, well, we'll do like a 6-month coaching program. And rather just be a pure coaching program, why don't we just do it like a book so they all can be a part of this book and it can be an anthology. And I was like, wow, okay, that's a really good idea. She had no idea about my past history of my writing journey or anything like that. I was a little embarrassed by it. And I didn't say anything. I just wanted to focus on, the coaching and making sure that was right and things like that. So it blew me away. It was almost like, the universe was having a cosmic giggle. and in the most delightful way.
Mm-hmm.
And then one thing led to the other, and we launched the series, A Journey of Riches. We've now collaborated with over 300 authors from more than 40 different countries. And the series has been a huge success. Each book has been a number one international bestseller. And after the first book, I swore that there was no way I was ever going to do another one because it was so stressful. And my hair's only just starting to grow back now. But it was so, just everything that could have gone wrong went wrong with the launch. And but we recalibrated and things worked out. I made so many mistakes, but the launch was still a huge success because I feel like I was following my creative path, and I was meant to take that route. And so the authenticity of that came through, and people just aligned and just did anything they could to support and get a copy and leave reviews and things like that. So the first book did really well, and then people just kept asking me about it, and then we just kept doing it. And I have many different. I've been a creative person. I'm very much a creative person. I have very much a lot of inspiration, and one of my challenges is what to focus on, making the main thing, as opposed to like all these different shiny objects. And I get a lot of them. And so I learned from Stephen King what he does with ideas. He's the if you haven't heard of Stephen King, he's the famous novelist, written many books, have a lot of his books turned into films. And he has this test that if he gets an idea or an inspiration, rather than actually writing it down and trying to catch the inspiration, he ignores it. And if it keeps coming back to him, then he knows it's an idea that's got strength and it's got wings. So I had this. So I was doing a meditation. And I was thinking, like, there must be another way to complement the books to get the books out there. And this film, the idea of a film came to me. It would terrified me. And I was like, no way. Like, there's just no way I can make a film. I don't know where to start. All these different conversations, fears, and doubts were just bombarding my brain all at once. And so I just sort of parked it. But it just kept coming back. It kept tapping me on the shoulder, in the ways of meeting people that were working in film, or the idea just coming up about adversity and the gift in adversity, and that's the premise of the film. And I was studying Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, written in the 1930s or something like that, so yonks ago. And one of the things he did was create a council, like an imaginary council of people, past greats, visionaries, and people that just inspired him, right? So I created a vision board with all these different people that I'd like to have in the film, and I started doing the imaginary conversations. And to my surprise, it started to get real. In telepathic communication. It was phenomenal. And so I had one clear, quite a few of them spoke and things like that. One of the voices that spoke the loudest was Michael Bernard Beckwith. He's been in The Secret, runs Agape in California, right near Venice Beach there. And he was saying, he loved the vision. He was really excited. We've got to take action on this now. And, you need to come over here and, let's do it. And I'm like, well, what do you mean? How? And he's like, come over here, come to Agape, and we'll make it happen. And so I got a ticket, flew from Bali. I was living in Bali at the time, and flew over to Bali, and took a videographer with me, a friend of mine in LA. His ex-girlfriend worked in the film industry, and so she wanted to be my assistant. I was like, wow, okay, yep, all right, yes, be my assistant. And she thought I was the director, and I guess I was in the beginning. And one thing led to the other, so we went to Agape, their Sunday sermon or service, or where they do the spiritual nourishment, and it was a fantastic experience. But it didn't start out that way. We were walking through the car park. It was winter. It was February 2016, and there was the beautiful morning California sun filtering through the pear blossoms, and so that my videographer just started taking pictures, snapshots, and then we hear this, like I guess a spiritual bodyguard, all dressed in white, screaming like, "What on earth do you think you guys are doing? You don't have any media passes," and because we brought all our equipment with us, and because that's what Michael told us. Right? That's what Michael told us to do. So, I didn't obviously say that to him.
No. That would be trying your luck. Yeah.
And and then he made the videographer delete all the images, so he was very serious. And then he turned to me and he asked me what on earth I was doing here. I've got all the equipment, you weren't doing any filming, you don't have passes, and we just went on and on. And then I just told him the vision for the film, that there's a benefit to adversity, there's a gift in challenge, and from difficult places, we can find out light and vision and purpose and passion and so on and so forth. And it got him thinking. He sort of just stopped in his tracks and he goes, follow me, guys. You need to meet Jacqueline Brown. So then we met Jacqueline Brown, told her the same story, and she goes, that's the exact paradigm that we create here. You've found yourself a home. Welcome to our family. We're just all looking at each other like, oh my God, like this is just incredible. And so we didn't high five, but we felt like it. And and then she goes, you need to speak with Leah Brown. So then I met Leah Brown and went through the whole thing again. And she was just tickled pink, and she thought it was fantastic and was so excited, and got us all VIP passes. And so we went inside, and it was just an amazing experience. We met Michael quickly afterwards, and then a few days later we filmed him for the film. And then one thing led to the other. We met Jack Canfield and filmed him, and Lisa Garr, and so on and so forth, and all these thought leaders. And so we're finished that film. We've got 2 parts left, or 3 parts left. So we're doing the live acting scenes, then we're going to do the editing, and then promotion. So
sounds exciting.
Yeah.
It looks like as if your life is writing this story, and you get to play the main role in it. And it goes a lot in favor of just trusting life. Whether you trust your instincts, so you have faith that you are being guided in the right direction. I mean, you mentioned the word telepathy there. It's as if the universe conspires to be in your favor when you follow your dream, when you have courage to make that first step in faith. That's how it seems to me, John. And your story 100%. Just illustrates that.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. Thank you. Gosh. And there was a lot of doubt along the way. It was a new endeavor. I'd never been involved in film before. I was just following that creative inspiration. It just felt so true, and it just kept coming back into my reality. So I knew it had wings. But there was one morning where it felt like I was getting enough momentum. There was a bit of a stagnant period. And so I just called out to the universe. I said, if I'm meant to be doing this, like, you need to give me a sign, because like things haven't moved. The needle hasn't moved all, the last couple of weeks. And I feel like I need some support and help. Can you bring some help to me? And with my hands out, I guess it was like a bit of a traumatic tantrum almost, but not quite. And so I just totally forgot about it, that request. And I was playing indoor cricket, went and played indoor cricket. And after we won and the guys wanted to go to the pub afterwards, and I don't normally go to the pub afterwards. And today I just thought, okay, I'll go. And I met there was a guy from the US that was at indoor cricket, and we just briefly shook hands and met, But it turned, when I go to the bar, he was there, and he was the only one that wasn't drinking as well. So we just struck up a conversation, and then I said, what brings you to Bali? He goes, well, I'm a film producer. and I'm working on a film, and I was like, da 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 da. The music out of the Twilight Zone.
Yes.
And here I was speaking to a film producer, and then he was for about a year was a consultant for the film, and was just really a shoulder that I could lean on. He had a lot of wisdom and advice to share with me, and so he'd been involved in a bunch of full feature films, and so it's amazing. Yeah, I was just asked,
It seems to work.
It worked in my case, yeah.
Yes, I totally am a living proof as well that things like that work in life, that hard efforting sometimes when we really want to do something, but that something isn't necessarily aligned with our own path, we are trying to effort in another direction, then it's really hard going, because you seem to be going against this current of life. But when you trust it, and yes, of course, as you said, there is doubt. There is always going to be doubt, because we're human after all. We're always going to question ourselves, but we do it despite that, right? And from, as you said, your creativity stems in adversity. It's in hard situation. It doesn't necessarily mean you need to live in paradise to have this sort of opening in your life. I believe that everyone has this.
100%. You can live anywhere. Absolutely. Yeah, at the moment I'm in Istanbul, so yeah, I'm on my way to the Middle East. So yeah, absolutely. It's consciousness.
We need to be open.
We can all tap into that.
Totally. I totally agree. And I find that my mission is aligned so much with what you are doing. And it's no coincidence that two paths ever cross in life, right? I stay open to that. I absolutely love when people like you come on my path, as if like that's it. Like it wasn't knocking on someone's door and trying to persuade them we can have this conversation, but it just the opportunity for you to have time to share this story with us. It's so beneficial to everyone who's going to hear, even if it just confirms what you already believe. You can step into that light that is inside you. You can carry your dream through to making it real.
I like that. Yeah, I haven't heard it articulated like that before, but yeah, that definitely resonates with me. Yeah, there's a deep truth.
That is expressed in this moment. So I never quite put it in words like that, but it is the inspiration of the moment. That is why I don't have scripts or questions anymore on this podcast, because I have a feeling that when we stick to the questions that we pre-planned, that we restrict where life wants to take us. And as you said, it wants to delight us, right? It wants us to discover something that was never discovered before, certainly not by us.
So true. And you mentioned before, like following our dreams is honoring our creativity and ideas. It encompasses trusting, because our dreams are meant to come to fruition, and it's a big part of that is trusting your own creativity and ideas, that they have value. Otherwise you wouldn't have had them. And so, and we can just learn so much from other people as well.
Yes.
And so I've got bits and pieces from so many different people.
Absolutely. I could take this conversation in so many different directions. But I want to ask you, do you have particular practices and habits that make you stay aligned with who you are? They make you stay true to John, that make you go deeper onto that self-realization path? Because I do believe that I mean, you're demonstrating that from everything you said, that you are closely aligned with your own path.
Yeah.
So what do you do to stay there?
I think that's a very good question. It's something that I've had to refine over the years, because there's definitely been times where I've felt like I've lost that spark, and I've just at different times, like there's, with the different projects, and there's like a thread of inspiration. It's like, oh my God, like where's the thread now? Like I can't see where the next step is, and if I step off, I could fall into the abyss, so it's felt like that at different times. So for me, it's been important and critical to have a morning routine, to set up the rest of my day. And I'm so diligent at that. And, sometimes I might not get to it in the morning if I'm traveling, but I get to it. And so it consists of breathing generally for around about 11 minutes. And so through the nose, and I do like in and out from the diaphragm, so from the stomach. And then, holding the breath. So I do 4-8-8-4. And then I do chakras. I do chakra openings. So I I do that for like generally 11 minutes. Sometimes it takes longer. I get caught on chakra or a chakra's blocked. So I open all 7 chakras and just send, golden energy into there. If I've got something that I'm working on, maybe I need to have like determination or persistence, then I focus on that particular chakra. With my voice and throat chakra and so on and so forth. So that's one component. And then another component is affirmations. So then I do that in like self-hypnosis. So I used to teach hypnotherapy through the NLP, Ericksonian hypnosis. So I say them in the I statement, as I already have them, and then I then say you, and I find that saying like you're putting it back out to the universe, an imaginary person, it just has like another layer, and it sticks, and so it's a really good conditioning tool. So there's that, and then I'll do yoga. So I generally do minimum 30 minutes, sometimes an hour, even an hour and a half. And so there's those components. That really gets me going. But I also will do reading as well. So I'll do at least 11 minutes. The minimum that I do of each of those is 11 minutes. So I do reading as well. And so generally I'll read like a self-help book or a novel. I have to do a lot of reading for what I do anyway with publishing books. And we've got a lot of books at the moment, so I kind of get behind on reading at different times. So I just do some fun reading as well, even if it's just for 11 minutes. That's the minimum that I go for. And then I might do like some form of walking and then meditation. So that's my ritual. I don't always get it done in the morning, but I make sure I get it done every day. But most mornings, I would say like 99.9% of the times I get it done in the morning. So it's that important. And it's really because it does set the tone for everything else. And if I can get that done, and I notice a difference if I don't get it done in the mornings as well. Like if I'm have bits of stress, or there's many different things that are pulling at my attention, it allows me to ground through the day and with more ease. So,
yes. Wow.
So last thing so I track and measure everything that I do.
Okay, that's the thing.
Yeah. So I have it on an app. Yeah. And so then you can see I don't know if you can see it, because of the light, but basically I can track and measure it. So
beautiful.
It's a bit too bright.
I don't think I have met someone who has as long morning routine as I do, but in the last 3 years I've been really dedicating that time in the morning, because I know I show up much better for everybody else when I do that. So yes, the last 3 years it was non-negotiable. Before that, I used to prioritize everything and everyone else. But since that time, and it has been a major change it has
It doesn't
helped?
have to be a long time. Let me just add, it doesn't have to be a long time to get the benefits of it as well. Like
Absolutely.
duration, as long as you do something.
Yes.
And
yes.
you know what? It didn't start out like that for me. It was very small.
Right.
And so it started out with one thing. And,
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking like 10 minutes, and that was my morning. And then it sort of built on that. And then it's just that level of commitment to just take through. And I love to track and measure things.
Yes.
We track and measure business, ingoings, outgoings, financial statements and stuff like that. But what about our spirituality and tracking and measure that? So I do that as well.
Beautiful.
And so, yeah, I love to nerd out on that stuff. But I travel a lot. I do go scuba diving. So I try and have a balanced life as much as possible. So when I was living in Ahmed, Bali, I was scuba diving 5 to 7 times a week. And so I just, if you're really good and efficient with your time, you can fit a lot of things in.
Yes.
So
yes.
There's 24 hours in a day. And, I don't rush around or anything like that.
No.
I take my time and just, make the most of it.
But without sacrificing the time that you need to spend with your soul, whatever that means, that nourishment of your soul, the spiritual activity, however that translates for you, you need to find that in your life and nourish that. And as you said, John, I completely agree. That doesn't have to be a long time. It's just, for me, it's this stack of these activities, and it's also creative things. It's when ideas come to me. I also do writing in the morning. So all of that time is like that window of 3 hours is dedicated to that. And after that, I show up. I can be absolutely present for 12 hours afterwards. I could be working. I don't get tired. I don't get drained, exhausted. My energy levels don't drop down.
Yeah. Well, I think like anything, it's best to start small, because if people hear 3 hours, I mean, that sounds crazy. It sounds like a lot. And I know there's a lot of parents out there and entrepreneurs that they have they're juggling many hats. They're struggling with the juggle almost. And so to add something else, like a 3-hour routine a minute, was just impossible for a lot of people. And so, but you can just start small. Even if you just do 10 minutes, something that honors your soul, then you can build on it from there and see how that goes, And I think that if we could just break things down for people so it's more achievable and more doable. And that's how I've gotten started. Like my morning routine, didn't start as long as, I don't even know the duration of it, but I just make sure I've got the different key components. Even if it's a small little bit, a minimum of 11 minutes each, and 30 minutes for the yoga. And it just it builds from there,
Absolutely. And also finding activities that you like doing and noticing that they can be your meditation. So if you have chores to do around the house, so you are a busy parent or you have a household to tend to in the morning, make those activities your mindfulness practice. Because who's to say while you're folding your washing, your thoughts can be centered around the intention for your day, about reconnecting, going inwards, listening. So any activity can be used for this purpose. And as any activity can be used for creative purpose as well. Because the more you relax and enjoy, the more the creative ideas are going to start flooding.
100%. Yeah, there's a science that proves that, it's your brainwave frequencies change.
Yes.
You go from beta to alpha state. And so, the frequency changes. And you can do that doing the dishes, and it's a mental state. And I find it's very valuable to get in the right state to create, to write, to foster that. For some people, it's in the morning. Other people, it's in the evening. They're more of a night owl and stuff like that. So it's not one size fits all. It's what's going to work best for you and what you're doing. And that's the beauty of it. You get to shape that to suit your needs. And having that flexibility, And I think that as entrepreneurs and creative entrepreneurs, that's what we do, right? We just, we have that flexibility, and we like things that are malleable and having choices.
Yes.
So.
And we also like to point that it works so well for us that we like to model this for other people as well. That when you don't need to sacrifice your freedom or sense of your freedom inside you, that you command your well-being, you command your state of being. That isn't anything that is influenced by outside circumstance or someone else outside you. And when you take full control of that, you start to realize how much freedom you already have inside, that you were signing off to something or someone else.
Yeah, and I think that that's just a matter of, because you're not always going to be in that state, right? But like, what's your set point? What do you come back to? And I think for me, that's the foundation that I lay with my morning routine. That, I might, I'm not perfect. I'm definitely very human. I might lose a sense of myself. I might give external power to, outside, but my set point, I always come back, to, my own nourishment, and, and being in a state, where kindness and appreciation and gratitude is a very big part of who I am and my character as a person. And so, I'm not always like that 24 hours a day, but that's my set point. That's what I come back to. And it's taken a lot of work to get to that point.
Absolutely. And there are these little ways that we can use to remind ourselves, to bring us back, to anchor us in that feeling. And the more time we spend there, the more aware of it we will be. And yes, it grows from there, I think, into this feeling of self-empowerment, rather than thinking that the outside dictates your life, because you in effect are creating your destiny. I absolutely live with that. I wouldn't say it's a belief, it's actually a knowing, it's a conviction. It is more than
it's definitely a law, because you don't have to believe in it and it'll still happen. So
yes.
I
love that.
For me, when a belief in it's a law. It happens. Like, it's like the law of gravity. You don't have to believe in gravity, but try holding that belief while stepping off a tall building. But there's always laws that supersede laws. So there's a law of lift which supersedes gravity. So when an object goes at a certain speed or velocity, then it supersedes gravity. Aeroplanes is a perfect example of that. So
absolutely.
So our reality is very malleable, and quantum physics has proven that anything is possible. And the more that quantum physicists explore the super quantum physics, the more that just blows them away.
The more open it is. Yes. The more you realize, I'm just here. Like this little thing I have, and it feels big though. It feels big, that what you realize, but then it just brings you to I'm just at the door of this. I haven't even peeped inside. What more is there? It's just amazing. If you let life show you its wonder and magic, it will. But you need to stay open. I think staying open to especially to having these conversations, because it's really hard to come up with something like this, what is unfolding here, just in your head, or within yourself. You can ascend to a certain level, but when you share that experience, when you are open enough to explore it with another part of self, it goes further and it goes faster, and it is thrilling to me. I like nothing more than to explore this kind of
and I think for me, like I really resonate with that, we create that, and the more that we're open to it, the more then we become exposed to those events or synchronicities or whatever you would like to call them. For me, one of the things when I was interviewing Michael Bernard Beckwith for the film is that he was saying there's a lack of intentionality within society, and there is an intention deficit disorder. And it's so true. And so we need to get intentional about what things we want in our reality as co-creators.
Yes.
We have to get very intentional, as co-creators, what we want in our reality. And so, I call that in. One of the affirmations that I condition myself with is that, I'm always in the right place at the right time to attract and connect in with magical experipences. And so,
beautiful.
Just little things like that.
I was going to ask
that into existence. Yeah.
when you were sharing about affirmations, the question was there inside me, would you share one? And here you go. Even I didn't ask it, but
yeah, there you go.
You got it.
yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you so much for
you.
everything.
Yes.
I don't want to keep you much longer. Just perhaps if you would share with us, how can people get into your community? What is the best way if they feel they want to find out more about you and about your work and about your mission in the world?
I mean, I have a website, but one of the best ways would be my Facebook community. I have a Facebook group called Your Book Writing Breakthrough, if you're more like writing inclined and things like that and have a story and a message to share. That's a group that I'm very active in. Email isn't another good way, like old school that way, or my website, ajourneyofriches.com. Probably the three avenues to really get more information about what
I will put all of those links available, so whatever resonates most, that people can contact you directly and follow you directly to find out more about your work. And as for me, I am so grateful that you have shared your time with us on this platform, and even more than your time, your precious energy and your uplifting spirit, that I feel that your mission is really big, and I'm so grateful that I get to support it in such a small way like today, to shine a light on your work. And all I can say is that I have a very good feeling about this connection. There was something in the air when we exchanged even the first few messages. There was something very human about it. There was, both of us were coming from the point, just I see you, and I just want to say hello and find out who you are. And that is, John, that is rare. That is rare. So we need to cultivate that and spread the word. So thank you, my friend, and I wish you a lovely trip.
Thank you, Katerina. Yeah, awesome. Thank you again for having me on your podcast. And it's been awesome to chat about and share with your audience.
My pleasure, John. Thank you so much.